back on. Good morning. Kilo 1. You need to introduce yourself. You were not here yesterday, which we determined was about a 500-point penalty. So we're here for the 10 o'clock meeting. I took a vote, and that's what they said.
Points.
So introduction.
So depending on how good your story is, whether you get those points.
Story's no good. I'm Dale Kramer, Kilo 1. I'm from Hammondsport, New York. And my story is just about identical to almost everything we've heard. So what I'd rather do is have my wonderful wife, Carmen, say something, because we haven't heard from any of the people that really make this possible yet.
Well, we still have to know when you took your first toe.
Oh, I don't know. That was in the mid-70s sometime when I was like a kid.
A child.
14 years old or so. I got my power license before my glider license, but I got my glider license right after at Social Gliding Club. And just flew like crazy for a couple of summers and had my, I was a summer co-pilot there for a couple of years. And then I designed my ultralight airplane, and that took 20 years out of my life, and then I came back to Soaring.
All right.
So Carmen, I like Carmen.
Oh.
You got to hear it. The real people that make it possible.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, this was unexpected, but I crew, and I try to reduce his workload so that he can put his energies into flying. And I used to fly. I started flying through hang gliding because I couldn't afford a plane. And then when I got a job, then I afforded to get my power license, and then I found that I went into ultralights. Didn't buy his ultralights. He designed the Laser. I bought a Cole Twin Star. Sorry, I didn't know you. But you know what? If I'd been in Canada, I would have bought the Laser because it was absolutely the best on the market. And then later on, I joined NASA, got my gliding and did some towing, and then now I crew. That's it.
Thank you. Is there anybody on here? Is there anybody I missed having to introduce themselves? I'm looking at this, I think I got it. Safety talk this morning will be Hank Nixon.
Just a very, very short reminder about outlanding situations and etiquette. One of the things I teach my primary students, I think is hugely important, is that we all have a good idea in our minds about what our hard deck is, about when we're going to stop soaring and start landing, and not letting the soaring and the landing become co-joined. When it's time to quit, it's time to quit. And then pay the rest of the attention to flying a proper landing pattern, putting the glider where we want it in a safe manner so that we can fly the next day. The other thing I think I would remind you is, it's a pretty good chance we're going to land some gliders out today, hopefully on airports. And I would remind you that when you're landing on that airport, it is entirely likely there's another guy coming right away. So think about, as you're rolling out, how you're going to get the glider off the runway and out of the way, so the next guy can get in there promptly and safely. Because we could have the possibility of tying up an airport with a whole lot of guys falling out of the sky today. Not to be negative, but let's just allow for that possibility.
Thank you. Good morning, Tom. It's time for weather.
This is page 1. Right. It says, somewhat an iffy day. I'm not sure you will get to 87 degrees by 12 and thus trigger, meaning that it's heating a little slower than you thought it would be heating. And I have lowered the ceilings about 15%, but do not know if that is enough. It would be better if I could see the ground and feel the air. And I'm going to call him on the phone and tell him I felt the ground with John, and I feel the air. And then he says, good luck. There's a low over northern Michigan with trailing cold front to Oklahoma. There's mid and low level clouds. Yes, high level clouds. not likely, but possible. And I don't think he's maybe picked up on some of the cirrus we're seeing in the area. Visibility is 6+ miles, and some of the stations we've checked around us, the visibility is the same. He shows a trigger of 87, we worked a trigger of 88, and that would get us to almost what we consider that altitude.
Yeah, that one.
That altitude, and 90 degrees will get us up a little bit short of the other altitude, about 3,800 MSL. With the amount of moisture in the air on the ground around us, and we saw precipitation out there this morning, and I saw it, I was up at 2 and I did a loop at 5, and there's more moisture out here, so that moisture kind of like, it messes things up. I think everybody understands that, and it's hard to do some of this information. At 4 o'clock, with a high of 91, there's a chance it can get to 4,000 feet over the ground. But there's going to be a variable height here depending upon the moisture content of the ground. And it could be a little higher, it could be a little lower. Will you have clouds? I think so. And it says on different models we pulled up a high of 88. And we also showed a high of 92. So there's a 4-degree spread on the temperature there. And that 4 degrees could be 1,600 feet. Your winds are going to be out of the south-southwest, and they'll be light this morning. But as the day progresses, the winds are supposed to increase in the value out of the southwest. Warning, we know what happens with a southeast wind. Okay, so if the wind doesn't really turn to the southwest, and it stays more of the southeast, it's just something that I think everybody needs to be aware of. The loops, the visible loops, do show stuff up here on the northwestern quadrant, and again, it's high cirrus. Whether it's going to burn off or not, we just don't know. There's a lot of moisture in the air. So, and the winds aloft. Would you like the winds aloft?
Yeah, give me the winds aloft, Tom.
What are the wings aloft, Tom?
Where's Stan at when I need him? Where's that FAA guy? At 3,000 feet, they're 240 at 14. Well, they start off at 230 at 10 at the surface. They go to 240 at 14 at 3,000 feet. At 6,000 feet, they're 260 at 20. And at 9,000 feet, they're 260 at 20. And I wasn't going to talk about the buoyancy shear ratio, but again, the thermals could be a little bit more choppy than you've seen in the last day or two.
Oh, you got a question?
What's the freezing level? I really don't know.
That would be a good question, but that's not what we're going to ask. The question is, we all know what about southeast winds?
Well, generally speaking, if the winds do come out of the southeast here, it's not. That's not generally a good day. The southerly to a southwest wind is a little bit better. Is that true? True.
He tells the truth.
And I didn't bring the blackboard out because this is just too hard.
So we do have a task sheet for grading at this end and the east end, and we will see what the day brings. Obviously, we're waiting for some good skies to be able to do something.
Great time.
And we'll do an 11 a.m. update and give the information to the advisors. That's what my plan is.
I'm gonna make the grid time 12 o'clock today. And 12 o'clock grid, be ready to launch at 12:30. If this thing, if the heat really comes, it'll come and it'll be here right on us.
Just a request, if you order a launch, because of a report from the sniffer, could you give maybe a 5 or 10 in the morning? At the front of the line, with the tilt plane right in front of you immediately as you're getting in, it's kind of very expected.
Right, okay, no problem.
Water.
No water.
Drinking water, lots of it.
Lots of drinking water.
There's plenty of
Lots
water
of
on the
drinking
field
water.
already, so you don't.
No ballast water. Ballast water is probably not what you want today.
Talk about like the weight.
Let's talk about that.
Anyways, it's a wait.